Well, we are in the month of December, and December is a very exciting month because one, it is the year end, and for many working professionals, this period of the year also brings in your annual appraisal discussion with your line manager. Because whatever hard work that you have put in, it's time for a review. It's time to relook at what all good things that you have done, what are the areas that you could not do well, and what is the future plan that the organization has for you for your development. But to all that to happen, you need to prepare yourself very well. Well, in this video today, I'm going to talk to you about how to prepare yourself for your annual appraisal review. Because one thing is for sure, that if you are prepared well, you are going to have a very healthy discussion, productive discussion with your line manager, which can help you to set path for yourself for the next 2 or 3 years coming your way in the organization. But if you are not prepared well, there are very high chances that the discussion can be dominated by your line manager, and then there are chances that you may not get the benefit of what you really want. Well, if you are with me on this video, then stay till the end, because in the end I'm going to share with you a format which will help you and guide you, give you direction how to write down all your annual plans, accomplishments, goals where you want to work upon, so that you are prepared well. Your preparation is excellent before you go and meet your manager. And also don't forget to like and subscribe this channel, because I'm sure you would be liking a lot of content that I'm sharing here. So do like and subscribe this for more share and more reach. In this video, I'm going to tell you 5 important steps that can help you to prepare for your annual appraisal review. As I've already mentioned, the more you are planned, the more you are prepared, the very high chances that you are going to have an excellent appraisal review with your manager. So the first step is mention and list down all your accomplishments. It's so important that whatever work that you have done throughout the year, it's time to relook at all the bigger accomplishments that you have got, because these accomplishments will give you a lot of confidence that what you have achieved so far for the whole calendar year. Now, what kind of accomplishments that I'm talking? Now, accomplishments can be, number one, in the form of the revenue that you have generated for the organization, or maybe I can say the extra revenue, what we call it as growth of business. Number 2 could be that the number of projects that you have successfully completed and accomplished the desired goals in those projects. Or it could also be the number of skills that you have been able to develop over the whole year while you are accomplishing your task in different projects or even achieving the targets. And also that what kind of relationships that you have been able to build on with new clients, new customers, that has helped you to achieve your goals. Now, when you list down all your accomplishments under these heads, you would have a very good clarity about both quantitative as well as on qualitative terms that you have been able to accomplish. Having known about your accomplishment itself is a big confidence booster when you are going to discuss for your annual appraisal with your manager. The second step, which is another very important, is review your last year goals. I'm sure when you begin your year, you would have set certain goals with help of your line manager. When those goals were freeze, there was certain criteria would have been set that what kind of accomplishments would be considered as higher, lower, or at medium level. Now relook, go back and see that what kind of goals that you have achieved. I'm sure there would be certain goals that you would have achieved that you are very proud of. Think about it. What did you learn out of it? How did you achieve it? Because more than achieving the goals, it is the learning of achievement, that what did you learn out of it? What is it that you can repeat again and again is a big confidence booster. Relook those skills areas and write them down. The number 2 area that you really need to look into your goals is what kind of goals that you have missed, because the goals that you have missed are the one which will give you an idea that what you are short of, what kind of skills that you do not possess, or why you have missed out. I'm sure every failure gives us a lot of learning. Once we know that what are those areas that failed us, it helps us to prepare us in a much better way in the next year. So whatever maybe your goals that you have missed or you have achieved would have given you some learning. So apart from noting down again on the quantitative term, you should also write down what kind of learnings that you have out of those success as well as failures. Because once you are able to pinpoint those areas and you are prepared with those thoughts, you can have a very, very healthy discussion with your line manager. Next step is that what kind of plans that you have for the next year. Now, the year has already gone by. You have already listed down the areas that you have done well and areas that you could not do well. But now it's also time that before you go for your annual appraisal discussion with your line manager, you need to think and plan ahead for the next year. Now, it can have many thoughts, which may be like, for example, what kind of skills that I want to develop for next year? What kind of projects that excite you that you want to take on in the next year? Or it can be kind of what kind of skills that would be required to go for a particular promotion in the next 2 to 3 years time from now. Now, basis this, if you are very clear about what kind of skills that you want to develop, what kind of projects that you want to go for, what kind of higher goals that you want to set, and also in doing so, what kind of support that you need from your manager, whether it is training, giving you more training, giving you more exposure, giving you new assignments, giving you new projects, is all that you should be very clearly planned in your mind and also on the sheet that you have in front of you. Once you are able to do that, it will give you a complete clarity that how much prepared you are and how much confident you are for your next year plan. Once you have these 3 important steps ready with you, you are super confident to now go and discuss this with your line manager. Now we come to step number 4. After all your preparation, after all your listing down of your achievements, your goals that you have done in the past and what kind of goals that you have for the future, now we come into the 4th step, and that is how you respond to feedback. Now, there are chances that when you go and meet your manager would have listed down certain areas of development for you, because no one is perfect. Even in spite of the best achievements, there are certain areas that you also need to look at it for your own development. Your manager has a list and he is going to tell you that the areas of development for you that you need to critically work upon it. But what happens? A lot of time, a lot of people, they react negatively. They show anger or they become sad. Well, these body languages are not good because they reflect bad on your part. Our manager is here to help you, to develop you, and you have to positively take those notes from him that how you are going to work on the areas that he has identified for you. So what is the best approach? The best approach is look very calm, composed, focused, and pay attention to what he's talking about, because in his narration he will also give you certain evidences in which you have been not able to showcase your skills the way he is expecting it. And that is where you need to make notes and say that yes, you are willing to work along with your manager to build those skills next year, and you need your manager's support to build those skills for the future. The more you are calm and composed and paying attention will give a lot of confidence to your manager that you are receptive to the feedback. The next step and the 5th step is that are you prepared for some tough conversations? Now, in spite of your best preparation, you never know what your manager has in his sleeve. It may be that he is thinking about a performance improvement plan for you, how you are going to react to it. Or maybe that you have worked very well and your manager is also in a very good mood and he wants to do a great appraisal for you. But you have something else in your mind. You want to go and discuss that you have become very bored out of this role for quite a number of years, and now you want to make a shift to a different department or a different role, or you want to move into a new location. You want to discuss about your transfer to a new location, maybe more prominent or a bigger territory. But how well you are prepared for that tough conversations, because you don't know how your manager is going to react to it. So you need to prepare well whatever thought which is going on in your mind before you go for such a discussion with your line manager. I hope these steps would have given you some clarity about how to prepare well for your annual appraisal review, because as I said, we are in the month of December and some of you may have your review coming up, some of you would have it in Jan or Feb, and it is so important that you need to prepare. Now we come to the pro tip, and that is, I already mentioned in my beginning that I'm going to share with you your accomplishment sheet format. So now it's the time that I'm going to share that. Stay tuned. So as already mentioned, now it's time that I'm going to share about the accomplishment sheet that will help you to plan for your next annual appraisal discussion with your line manager. This sheet will give you a lot of clarity when you pin down, when you write down all your goals, all your thoughts in this, because this will give you a clarity about not only in terms of your accomplishments in the past, but also with respect to what kind of goals that you can set, and that will help you to set up the discussion tone with your line manager. Now let me share that sheet with you, and it will give you a detailed clarity how it is going to be. So the first and the foremost thing that you need to think about, if it is applicable, that how much money you have made for your team or a company since last year. That means how much more that you have achieved in terms of business growth that you have given to your organization. Think about and write those thoughts. Number two is what projects you have completed or what initiatives you have taken since your last review. So I'm sure in your last review, you must have been given certain feedbacks that what you really need to work upon, what are the priorities that has been set by your line manager. Now you write down all those completed projects that you initiated right from the beginning till the end, or maybe you joined some project in the middle of it and still you have been able to come out with flying colors. Mention all those areas over here. Next is what parts of your job you have done exceptionally well. As already mentioned, that there are certain areas where you have been able to overshoot your targets, overachieve your goals. Now the question is that why you have been able to do exceptionally well. What are your key learnings? Highlight on that areas. What are the areas? What really worked for you? What has made that happen? Think about it and write those areas, because this is the gist of your accomplishment, and if you know that will give you a lot of confidence in your discussion. Next is what have you worked on that's not in your job description. I'm sure every good and great managers or employees, they take extra responsibilities so that not only they accomplish what they want, but also that their teammates and others also get benefit out of it. Think about it. What are those areas where you have shared additional responsibilities or you have done more than what has been asked for? Write that down, because these are some pieces that will give you the impetus to ask for more increments or whatever promotion that you have in your mind, to share that how good you are. Next is what goals that you have hit. Very clearly, I have already explained a couple of times. Write down the tangible goals that you have been able to hit where it can be measured. Next is how have you helped other teammates reach their goals. Now it's so important that not only, as I said, you achieve, but how you make others achieve, how you have helped others to grow and help them when they need it most. Write down that, and if again it has been documented, bring those documents as an appreciation that must have been given to you in the past. Next is what obstacles or challenges have you overcome since your last review. Why a review is done, it's not only to help you to be appreciated of what you have done well, but also on areas where you could also do well. Now these are the places where your manager can give you some insights on the developmental fact. Now how have you developed over the last year and this year's, and what is the evidence to it? Mention that evidence, mention those episodes where you have been able to exhibit those skills, and that shows that you are really working on the feedback given to you. Next is what projects, initiative, systems do you intend to work on in the coming year. As I've already mentioned that you have something big in your mind you want to accomplish for next year. So this is a big ticket that is in your mind you need to really bring, and how that will help your boss to achieve his or her goals. Ultimately, when you make your boss successful, you are actually getting ready for that job if you have that in mind. And next is what makes you irreplaceable. Now this is something which is very tricky. Now you need to go back and look at all the feedbacks that you have been getting from your peers, from your seniors, where they have appreciated you on certain skills, where you are very special in it, where you have beaten and you have overtaken others. Now these are some of the areas that you need to mention it, that has helped you to grow and reach where you are right now. And the last but not the least is, why do you think you deserve a raise? Now, when you pitch in your annual increment discussion, annual appraisal discussion, definitely all these things that you have done so far has to impact your increment. And this is where you should go and pitch for the highest level of increment that you deserve to get. Well, I'm sure this sheet would have given you some insight. Make some notes, write down, and get ready for yourself in your next discussion with your line manager. So finally, in the end, I would highly recommend that the most important thing that you should do in the end is pat yourself back and give full credit to the hard work that you have done for the whole year and the kind of accomplishments that you have got for your organization and for yourself. Because no matter whether your manager appreciates you or not, it is first thing, it is you, how you appreciate yourself, how much confident you are about yourself that you are doing the right work. So for example, when I used to get my appraisals done, I would go in the end, go back and have a party and treat myself, whether it can be in the form of a small chocolate, a coffee, or a drink. And I cherish those moments because those are my moments that I want to be with myself, to feel happy about and feel accomplished about what I have done, achieved for myself, for my organization, and also that what I am ready and prepared for the next year waiting for me to deliver those results. So a lot of people, why I'm sharing this, because there are a lot of people who do not do that. They feel that it is just a routine appraisal review and it doesn't matter whatever that happens because manager has pre-decided. So they go with a biased mind, and for them it is just another discussion which is going to happen. Actually, it is not. This discussion is very critical. It's your time to pitch your thought process to your manager. Because it will not only impact your salary increments for the next year, but it also set the tone for where you want to hit yourself in terms of your growth with respect to job promotions, new roles, new skills, your new investments on yourself with respect to training and development. Well, I'm sure this video would have given you some insights about how to prepare well, what is the importance of it, and how you can really do well in the future. So if you like this, do like it, share it, and don't forget to put a comment below if you liked, what did you like. I look forward for your feedback and stay tuned with me. Thanks a lot.